How to Reprogram Your Mind for Success and Inner Strength, written and published by Mindset Masters Audiobooks. Part 1. The Power of the Mind. Why Everything Begins Within. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Change your mind, and your entire life will follow. If you want to change your results, in life, in business, in health, in relationships, you have to go to the root. And the root is always the mind. Most people try to improve their circumstances by adjusting surface-level behaviors, working longer hours, taking a new course, following a productivity hack. But unless you shift the beliefs, patterns, and identity running underneath the surface, nothing truly sticks. Your mind is the operating system of your life. It determines what you see. It interprets what things mean. It decides what is possible for you and what's not. To reprogram your mind is to rewrite your future, and it begins with awareness. Why your current mindset might be holding you back. You weren't born with self-doubt. You weren't born with procrastination habits. You weren't born believing you can't succeed. All of that was learned, programmed through your environment, your upbringing, your experiences, and repetition. Think about it. If you grew up hearing money is hard to make, you likely developed scarcity. If you failed a few times early on and were mocked, you may now avoid risks. If you were told to stay humble when you shined, you might subconsciously dim your light even today. These programs run silently, and left unchecked, they become your reality. Not because they're true, but because they're familiar. But here's the good news. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. You can train your mind to think differently, to expect success, to operate from strength instead of fear, to become the version of you that already exists, deep down, confident, focused, driven, and calm. The science behind mental reprogramming. Neuroscience shows us that the brain is neuroplastic. This means it can form new connections, new pathways, and yes, new beliefs, at any age. Your thoughts create electrical signals in your brain. Repeated thoughts become patterns. These patterns become beliefs. Beliefs shape actions, and actions determine outcomes. It's a chain reaction. Here's what that means for you. If you repeat negative self-talk, your brain wires for fear and hesitation. If you rehearse empowerment, your brain builds confidence and clarity. If you practice focus, your mind sharpens like a laser. If you visualize success, your brain creates internal proof that it's possible. The mind doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. So you can use this fact to pre-program the life you want, starting now. Step 1. Identify your default thought patterns. Reprogramming begins with awareness. You can't change what you don't see. Start observing. What are the first thoughts that hit you when you wake up? What do you say to yourself when you face a challenge? What do you believe about money, success, love, failure? Here's a simple exercise. Carry a small notebook or use your phone. For one full day, capture any repetitive thoughts, especially the ones that come in moments of stress, boredom, or ambition. You'll begin to see patterns like, I'm not ready for this. I always mess this up. One day I'll try. That's just who I am. These are your current programs. And just like software, if it's outdated, you don't fight it. You replace. Step 2. Decide who you want to become. If your life is the output of your mental code, then the most powerful thing you can do is write a better version. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What does the most successful version of me think like? What do they believe about challenges? How do they talk to themselves? What habits do they repeat, mentally and emotionally? Write down a character profile of your future self. Be vivid. Be detailed. Be intentional. You're not writing fiction. You're programming your brain to recognize a new normal. Step 3. Replace the old with the new. Every single day. Change doesn't happen from information. It happens from repetition. Create daily rituals to rewire your mind. Affirmations, not generic ones, but deeply personal ones that address your weak points. Visualization. See yourself succeeding. Handling stress. Walking in power. Journaling. Catch and challenge old thoughts. Reinforce new beliefs. Mental rehearsal. Imagine yourself performing at your best in real situations. Reflection time. Silence, stillness, and space to listen to your own thinking. The 1% don't leave their mental state to chance. They program themselves on purpose, and they do it daily. The key: emotional repetition. It's not enough to repeat new thoughts mechanically. You must feel them. Emotion is what cements belief. So when you affirm something like "I am capable of achieving big goals," don't just say it flatly. Say it with conviction. Visualize it. Get your heart involved. Breathe it in. This is what creates emotional memory. And emotional memory is what makes the mind believe something is real, even before you see it. Protecting the process. As you begin reprogramming your mind, expect resistance. Your brain's one job is to keep you safe, not to make you extraordinary. So anything new will feel uncomfortable, even threatening. You might feel doubt. You might hear the inner critic get louder. That's not failure. That's proof the program is shifting. Protect your focus by limiting negative input, news, toxic people, fear-based content, feeding your mind with empowering voices, books, mentors, affirmations, stories, repeating your rituals even when you don't feel like it. Remember, you're not trying to fake anything. You're returning to your truest self, the one that success already belongs to. Final thought for part 1. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are, what you think, believe, and expect deep down. So if you want to change your life, change your mind. And if you want to change your mind, commit to doing it on purpose. This is the first step. You've opened the door. From here forward, you're no longer at the mercy of old programming. You're the coder now. Part 2. Break the loops. How to interrupt negative thinking and rewire your beliefs. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. Your actions become your results. If you want different results, change what you believe. Every human has mental loops, repeated thoughts, narratives, and reactions that shape how they see the world and respond to it. These loops are powerful. They can create confidence or fear, drive action or paralyze it, build belief or break it. In this part, you'll learn how to identify and interrupt these negative loops and how to replace them with empowered, intentional patterns that move you towards success and inner strength. What is a mental loop? A mental loop is a thought pattern that runs on repeat, usually triggered by certain situations or emotions. For example, you try something new, it gets hard. You think, "I'm not good at this." You quit. You feel uncertain. You think, "This always happens to me." You stay stuck. You experience rejection. You remember a past failure. You withdraw. These loops often begin in childhood or adolescence. Over time, they become default responses, automatic, unconscious, and deeply familiar. The danger? Familiar does not mean true, but when a thought is repeated enough, your brain believes it's reality. To reprogram your mind, you must first disrupt the loop. Step 1. Recognize your loop triggers. Loops usually follow a pattern. Brain runs a familiar line of thinking, feeling. The thought creates an emotional state, action or avoidance. The feeling influences your behavior. Result: the outcome reinforces the original belief. Here's how it might look. E-trigger. You receive negative feedback. Thought: "I'm not cut out for this." Feeling: insecurity, anxiety. Action: you hold back. Avoid taking risks. Result: no growth. Proof that you can't succeed. This is a loop, and it must be broken. Start by journaling your triggers. Ask: when do I tend to spiral into negative thoughts? What patterns come up during stress, failure, or criticism? Are there specific people, places, or situations that trigger old reactions? Once you identify the loop entry points, you can intercept them. Step 2. Name the thought. Don't own it. One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is this: you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of your thoughts, and you can change them. When a negative thought arises, don't merge with it. Label it, name it, observe it. Examples: that's my scarcity loop speaking. That's my fear of rejection showing up. That's my inner critic trying to protect me. This creates psychological distance. It moves you from inside the loop to outside the loop, where you can see clearly and respond intentionally. Step 3. Disprove the thought with evidence. Your brain clings to what feels certain, even if it's untrue. To break a belief, you must offer your mind counter-evidence. Let's say your loop is, I'm always behind. I'll never catch up. Ask, is that always true? Have there been times when I made progress? What have I accomplished that contradicts this thought? Write it down. Build a case against the belief, like a lawyer presenting facts. Over time, your brain begins to see the old thought as untrustworthy and weakens its emotional grip. Step 4. Interrupt with power questions. When a loop is triggered, you can immediately weaken it by asking, is this thought helping me or hurting? What's a more empowering way to look at this? What would my future self say in this moment? If I were coaching someone else, what advice would I give? These questions move you from emotion to logic, from panic to power. They reintroduce choice, and every time you choose a new path, you carve a new mental trail. Step 5. Install the replacement thought. You can't just delete old thoughts. The brain needs a replacement. For every disempowering belief, create a new mental script. Examples: tepid, old, I always mess up under pressure. New, pressure sharpens me. I rise when it matters. Old, no one takes me seriously. New, I carry authority. My presence and preparation command respect. Old, success isn't for people like me. New, success is available to anyone who thinks and acts intentionally. That includes me. Write your new beliefs down. Read them aloud daily. Feel them. Live them. Repetition is what installed the old loop. Repetition is what installs the new one. Step 6. Practice emotional state shifting. Loops don't just live in your mind, they live in your nervous system. That's why breaking them isn't just intellectual, it's also physical. Practice this. When the loop activates, pause. Breathe deeply, in for 4, out for 6. To calm your nervous system, change your posture. Sit tall, shoulders back, chin up. Speak your new belief out loud with power. Move your body, walk, stretch, shake out tension. Motion rewires the connection between thought and state. If you stay frozen, the loop wins. If you shift, you win. What's my plan to interrupt it fast? If you rehearse the new thought pattern before the trigger, your brain has a blueprint ready. This is how elite performers stay sharp under pressure. They don't wait for the moment to decide, they train for it in advance. Final thought for part 2. You are not broken. You are not behind. You're simply running loops that no longer serve the person you're becoming. Every time you recognize a pattern, interrupt it, and install a better one, you strengthen your inner power. You begin to think clearly, act boldly, respond intentionally, live freely. That's the power of mental reprogramming, and you're already doing it. Part 3. Build the identity of a high performer, programming the mind to match your ambitions. Decade. You will never outperform the image you hold of yourself. Raise your identity and your results will rise to meet it. If your thoughts are the code, your identity is the operating system. No matter how motivated you feel, how powerful your affirmations are, or how detailed your goals may be, if your identity is stuck in the past, your progress will hit an invisible ceiling. You can't consistently act in a way that contradicts who you believe you are. That's why today's focus is this. If you want to reprogram your mind for success, you must rewire your identity to match the future you're building. What is identity really? Your identity isn't your name, job, or background. It's the internal narrative of who you believe you are. It shows up in subtle ways. I'm not that disciplined. I'm just not a morning person. I always procrastinate. I'm the type that needs pressure to perform. I'm just not a natural leader. These beliefs may feel harmless, even factual, but they act like software limits. They cap your growth. Every time you try to behave like a high performer, your old identity pulls you back to the familiar. until you break that internal story. Why most change doesn't stick. If you've ever set a goal, made progress, then slowly slipped back, it's not because you're lazy, it's not because you didn't want it badly enough. It's because your identity didn't change. When you try to change behaviors without upgrading beliefs, the old system wins. Here's what that looks like. You start waking up early, but deep down still think, this isn't really me. You crush your work for 2 weeks, but tell yourself I always burn out eventually. You finally start eating healthy, but believe I've never been good with consistency. So what happens? You unconsciously sabotage your progress, not because you're weak, but because you're loyal to your internal image. To break this cycle, you must deliberately design a new identity. Step 1. Define the identity you want. Ask yourself, who do I want to become, not just do? What kind of person gets the results I dream about? How do they think? How do they behave? What do they never tolerate? What habits are automatic for them? Write this out like a blueprint. Not I want to be more confident. Instead, I am the kind of person who speaks clearly, acts decisively, and owns the room. Identity is action-based. It's about what you repeatedly do and why you do it. Step 2. Shift from outcome-based to identity-based thinking. Most people set goals like this. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to earn $100,000. I want to publish a book. But these are outcomes, not identity shift. The better model is, I am someone who never misses a workout. I am someone who adds massive value and earns accordingly. I am a writer who publishes valuable content consistently. When you think like this, your behavior becomes a proof builder for your new identity. Each action you take, no matter how small, becomes a vote for the type of person you believe you are. Step 3. Reinforce with repetition and evidence. Your brain needs proof to accept a new identity. You create that proof by doing again and again. You don't need to fully believe you're disciplined to act with discipline today. You need to act in alignment with the identity you're choosing, even before it feels real. Over time, one focused hour becomes a pattern. One healthy choice becomes a lifestyle. One bold decision becomes a signature trait. You're stacking evidence for a new version of yourself. Eventually, the brain stops resisting. It begins to say, this is who I am now. Step 4. Use I don't instead of I can't. Language programs identity. Instead of saying, I can't skip today's workout, say, I don't skip workouts. I can't sounds like external force. I don't is identity-based. It shows personal standard. Try it with, I don't waste time on distractions. I don't let fear decide for me. I don't accept average effort. These simple phrases speak directly to your subconscious. They don't just describe your actions. They don't just describe your actions. They declare who you are. Step 5. Use environment to anchor identity. The people, places, and things around you either affirm your identity or erode it. Want to become a focused, disciplined creator? Clear your space of clutter. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals. Limit exposure to people who reinforce old habits. Create visual cues. Your goals written on your mirror. Your core identity words in your phone wallpaper. Environment makes identity easier to stick. You're not just changing your thoughts. You're living differently, inside and out. Step 6. Visualize as your future self. Every day, take 5-10 minutes to close your eyes and see yourself as the high performer you're becoming. Visualize walking with confidence, thinking clearly, responding calmly under pressure, speaking with conviction, finishing what you start, taking ownership no matter what. Feel it, believe it, repeat it. Visualization is mental rehearsal, and your brain wires it as experience. Step 7. Make identity non-negotiable. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. Every decision becomes simple when filtered through identity. Does this behavior match who I'm becoming? If not, don't do it. And if you slip, don't say, I failed. Say, that's not like me. Let's reset. Consistency builds belief, and belief drives transformation. So ask yourself, am I ready to stop acting like the old version of me? Am I willing to think, behave and move as the person I'm becoming. Starting now, you don't need to wait to feel worthy. You don't need permission. You only need a decision. Your identity is fluid, your power is real, and your time is now. Part 4. Mental Rituals for Daily Reprogramming. Build inner strength on autopilot. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. James Clear. If identity is your internal compass, your rituals are the path you walk each day. You've already begun rewriting your beliefs, breaking thought loops, and building a powerful self-image. But the truth is, transformation doesn't happen in big, dramatic breakthroughs. It happens in the small, consistent daily actions that slowly rewire your mind. Not once, not occasionally, but every single day. In this part, we'll walk you through how to design mental rituals that hardwire your success, routines that build unshakable inner strength, even when motivation fades. Why rituals matter more than willpower. Willpower is temporary. Rituals are permanent. You can't rely on motivation to stay focused, confident, or disciplined. Life is unpredictable. Emotions are unstable, but rituals are repeatable frameworks that train your mind, just like an athlete trains the body. Every ritual you adopt becomes a signal to your subconscious. This is who I am. This is how I live. This is what I expect of myself. And the more signals you send, the faster your brain adapts to your new identity. Let's walk through the most powerful mental rituals used by high performers, world-class thinkers, and inner warriors alike. Ritual Den 1. Morning Mindset Reset. How you start your morning determines the tone of your entire day. Most people wake up into chaos, checking their phones, reacting to the world, feeding their mind with junk. Not you. Your new morning ritual is about intention. Here's a 15-minute routine that reprograms your mind before the world touches it. Breathe deeply. Let your nervous system wake up slowly. Gratitude. 2 minutes. Write 3 things you're genuinely thankful for. Train your mind to spot abundance. Self-identity affirmation. 3 minutes. Speak your new identity out loud. I am focused. I am calm. I am the kind of person who follows through. Goal visualization. 5 minutes. Close your eyes and see yourself achieving your most important goal. See it, hear it, feel. Mental rehearsal. 3 minutes. Imagine a challenging moment you might face today, then visualize yourself handling it with power and clarity. 15 minutes. That's it. But the compounding effect over 30, 60, 90 days. Life-changing. Ritual Den 2. Power questions to frame the day. Your mind will follow the questions you ask. Start asking questions that shift your attention, sharpen your focus, and pull you into your higher self. Here are 5 to start each morning. What would the strongest version of me focus on today? What will I do today that proves I'm serious about my future? What can I do today that 99% of people avoid? How can I grow from whatever comes my way today? If I already had what I wanted, how would I act today? Write your favorite ones down. Stick them to your mirror. Recite them daily. Because your life is shaped by the quality of the questions you repeatedly ask. Ritual Den 3. Mindful input management. Every piece of content you consume, video, podcast, conversation, music, is either reinforcing your programming or weakening it. This is your new filter. Does this make me stronger or weaker? Audit your inputs. Unfollow accounts that push fear, gossip, distraction. Replace them with wisdom, clarity, strategy, and strength. Stop watching or listening to anything that clouds your focus. Begin consuming content that elevates your mind daily, not just when you're in the mood. Ritualize it. Even 10 minutes of focused, uplifting content daily can anchor your mental state. Ritual Den 4. Emotional reset. Checkpoints. Every few hours, set a mental reset, especially during busy or stressful days. It could be as simple as a 60-second pause to the one powerful affirmation. This brings you back to center, back to choice, and it prevents your old programming from taking over when life gets loud. Ritual Den 5. Nightly mental debrief. Before you sleep, reflect. This is when the mind processes, consolidates and rewires. Here's a simple nighttime ritual. Celebrate wins. Write 3 things you did well today. Train your brain to notice progress. Self-correction. Write 1 way you could improve tomorrow. No shame, just precision. Gratitude again. End with appreciation. Prime your brain for calm and optimism before sleep. Identity review. Read your identity statement. I am the kind of person who, and let that be your last input before sleep. This ritual reinforces progress, cements new patterns, and resets the mind with purpose. Bonus ritual. Create an anchor object. Choose 1 item, a bracelet, a ring, a necklace, a keychain, and make it your identity anchor. Every time you touch it, see it, or wear it, you remind yourself, this is who I am. It's a small physical trigger that keeps your new programming active, even in the middle of chaos. Ritual is not restriction, it's freedom. Most people think structure limits them, but high achievers know the truth. Discipline is freedom. Mental rituals aren't about control, they're about clarity. They remove decision fatigue. They eliminate chaos. They create mental momentum that compounds day after day. And most importantly, they allow you to operate from strength, not survival. Final thought for part 4. You are already reprogramming your mind, not through dramatic changes, but through consistent, daily signals. Rituals are your commitment to becoming the version of you that doesn't break when life gets hard. They're how you stay grounded when stress rises, stay focused when the world distracts, stay aligned when others drift, stay strong when it would be easier to quit. Your power is in your patterns. Build your rituals, live them, and your new identity will become undeniable. Part 5. Mental toughness and emotional resilience. Becoming unbreakable in a world that tests you. Tough times don't last, but tough minds do. Success isn't about abounding hardship. It's about who you become through it. You can build the best rituals, reframe your beliefs, and visualize your goals every day, but life will still hit you. Unexpected setbacks, rejection, delays, criticism, loss. And it's in these moments, when your emotions are loud and your plans are breaking, that your mental programming is tested. This is where the average person collapses, but this is where you rise, because now you're building what most avoid: emotional resilience and mental toughness. This part is about how to stay grounded under pressure, unshaken by opinion, and committed even when your energy is low. Let's build the mind of a finisher, not just a starter. Mental toughness is not numbness. Let's clear this up first. Mental toughness doesn't mean emotions pretending nothing affects you, grinding non-stop and burning out. It means facing discomfort head-on, staying calm in chaos, choosing response over reaction, holding your standard when it would be easier to lower it. It's the ability to stay aligned with who you are, even when your circumstances don't support it. And it's a skill, not a trait. It can be trained, like a muscle. Pillar 1. Control the controllables. Most mental weakness comes from this mistake, trying to control what you can't. Other people's opinions, the timing of results, the behavior of a client, a market crash, someone's tone, the past, the weather, the algorithm. Trying to control those things leads to stress, anxiety, bitterness, and burnout. The tough mind asks, what's within my control right now? Where can I direct my focus and power today? How can I lead myself regardless of the chaos around me? Control your pillar 2. Master your emotional recovery time. High performers feel fear, doubt, and frustration like anyone else. The difference? They bounce back faster. Most people stay stuck in a bad mood for hours, days, weeks. Mental toughness isn't about avoiding the dip. It's about shortening it. Here's a recovery strategy. A. Can notice the shift. I'm spiraling right now. Label the emotion without judgment. This is disappointment, not defeat. Breathe deeply and slow everything down. Ask a grounding question. What's the next best move I can make from here? Take a small action. Move, clean, write, call, shift momentum. You don't need to feel good to move forward. You just need to move and let your actions realign your mind. Pillar 3. Develop a high pain threshold for growth. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Growth is uncomfortable, always. And success is built through a willingness to stay in discomfort longer than most. Whether it's waking early, speaking up, holding discipline, saying no, or waiting for results, discomfort is the price. But here's the good news. The more you expose yourself to controlled difficulty, the stronger your tolerance gets. Just like muscles grow from tension, your mind grows from voluntary discomfort. Cold showers, difficult conversations, intense workouts at taking the stairs, as fasting, saying no when it's awkward, waking up before you feel like it. Each one is a signal. I don't need comfort. I can do hard things. And that belief, that's a superpower. Pillar 4. Stop personalizing everything. One of the fastest ways to weaken your mind is this: taking everything personally. Not every delay is about you. Not every no is a rejection of your worth. Not every mistake defines your identity. Mental toughness means detaching ego from external events. The world doesn't revolve around you, and that's freeing. You're not fragile. You're adaptable. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? How can I lead myself better through this? That's how you shift from victimhood to ownership. Pillar 5. Adopt the no matter what mentality. High achievers don't wait to feel inspired. They don't constantly renegotiate with themselves. They say, this is the standard. I do it no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if they're tired. It doesn't matter if no one claps. They've made a decision, and the decision removed the debate. Want to be unstoppable? Lower the number of decisions you make, and increase the number of commitments you keep. Pillar 6. Build your mental why bank. There will be days when everything feels pointless. Progress seems invisible. Motivation disappears. Self-doubt grows. This is where your why bank saves you. Keep a running list of reasons you started it, people you're doing this for, future version of you you're fighting for, moments that changed you, promises you've made to yourself, your vision in vivid detail. On hard days, read your why bank, feel it, remind yourself, this matters more than this mood. Emotion is temporary. Your purpose isn't. Pillar 7. Lean into pressure. Don't avoid it. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the catalyst. Pressure reveals your habits, exposes your limits, and activates your deeper strength. If you lean into it with the right mindset, instead of saying, this is too much, train yourself to say, you just need to stop fleeing pressure. Walk toward it and let it sculpt your mind. Final thought for part 5. Mental toughness isn't about being stone cold or emotionless. It's about being anchored, calm in chaos, focused in noise, resilient in storms. You'll still feel pain. You'll still get tired. You'll still doubt yourself. But you won't break, because you've trained your mind to own your state, control your focus, think clearly when others panic, move forward when others freeze. This is the foundation of unshakable and now, it's part of who you are. Part 6. Building real confidence. The inner armor of unstoppable people. Confidence is not a gift. It's a result, a byproduct of trust built through action. Mindset Aiders Audiobooks. Confidence isn't what most people think. It's not about being loud. It's not about being the most talented. And it definitely isn't about faking it till you make it. Real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It moves with certainty. It breathes from within. In this part, we'll dismantle the myths around confidence and walk step by step through how to build unshakable inner confidence, the kind that doesn't disappear when no one claps or when you're standing alone. Let's get into it. What confidence is and isn't. Let's begin by clearly defining what confidence is not. It's not arrogance. It's not perfection. It's not something you're born with. Confidence is trusting yourself even when you're uncertain, having the courage to act despite fear, knowing your worth even when others don't see it, backing yourself with evidence, not ego. Think of confidence as the inner armor that lets you walk into pressure and still breathe clearly. Now here's how to build it. Step 1. Break the confidence comes first myth. One of the biggest lies that keeps people stuck is this idea: I need confidence before I take action. Wrong. The truth is, action comes first. Confidence follows. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Confidence grows every time you do what scares you. You speak up, even if your voice shakes, and realize you didn't die. You show up on video, even if you feel awkward, and get positive feedback. You pitch your idea, and even if they say no, you walk away proud of yourself. It's time you act in spite of fear. You prove to yourself, I can handle this. That's real confidence. Earned, not imagined. Step 2. Build a track record of kept promises. Confidence isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows when no one's watching. Want to feel unshakable? Become the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. You say you'll wake up early, and you do. You say you'll train, and you do. You say you'll finish the project, and you follow through. Each kept promise becomes a vote for self-trust, and self-trust is the bedrock of confidence. Here's a rule. Never make promises casually. If you say it, mean it. If you commit, follow through. That's how you stop doubting yourself. You become someone you believe in. Step 3. Choose identity-based affirmations. Skip the fluffy affirmations. You don't need to say, I'm amazing, if you don't believe it yet. Instead, affirm the identity you're building with evidence and intention. Say, I finish what I start. I speak clearly because I know what I bring. I move toward challenges. I don't shrink from them. I may not be the best, but I'm always improving. Identity-based affirmations sink deeper. They're not about hype. They're about alignment. Step 4. Train yourself to be seen. This one's hard, especially if you've spent your life hiding in the background. But confidence requires this step. Allow yourself to be seen. Let people hear your ideas. Let them see your work. Let them witness your progress, even when it's messy. Most people only want to be visible once they're polished. But real growth happens when you step out while still imperfect. Start small. Post your thoughts. Share your wins. Say your name with power. Walk into the room like you belong there, because you do. The more often you allow yourself to be seen and survive, the less power fear holds over you. Step 5. Use evidence loops. Your brain needs proof to believe you're capable. That's why every small win matters. Start documenting your wins, no matter how tiny. Create a confidence file, physical or digital. Screenshots of compliments, notes of things you accomplished, reminders of times you were nervous and still showed up on low confidence days. Revisit it. Let your own history remind you of what you're capable of. This isn't ego, this is mental ammo. Step 6. Detach confidence from outcome. True confidence comes from effort, not results. If your belief in yourself depends on people clapping, you'll be fragile. Train yourself to say, I'm proud of how I showed up, regardless of the outcome. That mindset makes you unbreakable, because now your worth isn't tied to validation. It's rooted in integrity. You gave your best. You moved with courage. You stayed in alignment. That's where real confidence lives. Step 7. Get around confident energy. Confidence is contagious. Spend time around people who take action, speak powerfully, own their space, lift others up. Don't shrink or fake it. Observe them. Absorb their energy. Let their standard become your new baseline. Environment shapes identity, and the fastest way to elevate your confidence is to upgrade your circle. Step 8. Train in public. Want next-level confidence? Put yourself in situations where you can't hide. Speak in front of others. Launch that podcast. Record that video. Apply for that opportunity. Teach what you know. It's scary, but every time you do it, you rewire your brain. I can be uncomfortable and still move. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be brave enough to be seen becoming your best. Step 9. Adopt the neutralize the noise practice. Stop letting other people's opinions be the volume knob for your confidence. Here's how you neutralize the noise. Filter feedback. Is this constructive or just projection? Don't argue with doubters. Their opinion isn't your truth. Use criticism as calibration, not identity. Adjust if needed, but stay grounded. Celebrate yourself privately. You don't need applause to feel progress. The more you stay centered in your own evaluation, the less dependent you become on external noise. Final thought for part 6. You're not waiting for confidence. You're building it. Every time you speak, even when nervous, take the risk without a guarantee. Keep the promise no one else saw. Finish something that stretches you. You're stacking strength. This kind of confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't shake when challenged. It's calm, clear and quiet, but impossible to ignore. You're becoming that person, brick by brick, action by action. Confidence isn't who you are. It's what you've built. And now you're building it for life. Part 7. Programming your mind for clarity and focus in a distracted world. The future belongs to those who can focus. Cal Newport. We live in a world that thrives on synths. Every ping, every scroll, every update. They aren't just stealing your time. They're reprogramming your brain to be reactive, scattered, and constantly overstimulated. And in that state, you can't create deep work. You can't hear your own thoughts. You can't build your future. In this part, we'll show you how to take your focus back, not just to work better, but to think clearer, feel stronger, and operate like a high performer in a chaotic world. Let's retrain your brain to choose clarity over clutter, depth over noise, and intentionality over impulse. Why focus is your new superpower. We've been conditioned to believe that busyness equals productivity. But the truth is, and that output, your best work, your clearest thinking, your highest level decisions, only comes from a calm, focused mind. In a world that rewards speed and consumption, the person who can sit still, think deeply, and act deliberately becomes unstoppable. That can be you, but it starts by mastering your mind. Step 1. Understand the cost of distraction. Every time you're distracted, your brain leaks energy, your stress levels rise, your attention span shortens, your ability to do deep work drops, your confidence erodes, and worst of all, distraction trains your mind to avoid depth, the very state required to build wealth, meaning and impact. You're not just distracted, you're becoming a distracted person. That's why reclaiming your focus isn't optional. It's a matter of identity. Step 2. Audit your attention loops. Start with awareness. For the next 3 days, track how often you check your phone, what apps steal your focus, when you feel most scattered, what content leaves you drained, who interrupts your flow most often. Write it down. You can't change what you're not aware of. And clarity begins with honest observation. This is not about guilt. It's about control. Step 3. Build a focus ritual. Before work begins. If you want focused work, you need a focused mind before the work starts. Try this PreWork focus ritual. Oceans, clear physical clutter. A messy space creates a messy mind. Close all tabs except what's essential. Silence all notifications. Phone on, do not disturb. Set a clear objective. For the next 45 minutes, I will finish. Breathe deeply for 1 minute. Slow down your nervous system. Put on focus-inducing music or silence. Create auditory consistency. Begin no negotiation. Repeat this before every deep work session. Make it sacred. Let your brain associate it with clarity and flow. Step 4. The power of time blocking. Multitasking is a lie. Your brain switches. It doesn't truly do 2 things at once. That's why high performers use time blocking. Oceans, 1 block. Full presence. Try this. Oceans, block 90 minutes for deep work. No interruptions. Take a 15-minute break. Block 60 minutes for admin. Block 30 minutes for learning. Repeat. Your calendar is your protector. If it's not scheduled, it's vulnerable to distraction. Guard your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Step 5. Train focus like a muscle. Focus isn't a switch. It's a muscle. And if it's weak, you must train it. Start with focus reps. Ocean, set a timer for 25 minutes. Pick one task. Work with full concentration. Rest 5 minutes. Repeat. This method, also known as the Pomodoro technique, rewires your brain to stretch its attention span, just like you'd stretch a muscle. Over time, increase your focus window. 25. The more you practice, the longer and deeper your focus becomes. Step 6. Limit information inputs. Most people are drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. Here's the rule. Ocean. Consume less. Apply more. Try this. Ocean. 1 book at a time. 1 podcast per day. Max. 1 newsletter. No random scrolling unless it's scheduled. Yes, even that. And ask yourself after every piece of content, did this move me forward? Or just keep me busy? Simplify. Curate. Protect your mental bandwidth like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Step 7. Build a no distraction zone. Create one space in your life where your brain knows, this is where I focus. Could be a certain desk, a room, a library, even a coffee shop. What matters is consistency. Make it distraction-proof. Ocean. No TV, no phone access. Noise-canceling headphones. Clean setup. No visual clutter. Over time, your mind will associate that space with deep work and begin to drop into flow faster. Step 8. Practice digital minimalism. You don't need to quit tech, you just need to control it before it controls you. Try this. Ocean. Remove social media apps from your phone. Use browser if needed. Set app limits, and actually honor them. Use website blockers, like Cold Turkey or Freedom. Schedule distraction windows. Scroll guilt-free from. Turn your phone grayscale. Less stimulation, less temptation. The goal isn't to be a monk. The goal is to be intentional. Step 9. Focus recovery matters too. Don't expect laser focus if your mind is constantly fatigued. Build daily habits that reset and restore your clarity. Ocean. 7-8 hours of high-quality sleep. 10-minute walks during the day. Journaling for mental clarity. Daily silence. Even 5 minutes. Deep breathing between tasks. You don't get clearer by grinding harder. You get clearer by clearing space. Step 10. Use focus to create, not just consume. The real power of focus isn't just efficiency. It's creation. When you focus deeply, Ocean, you write better. You speak with clarity. You solve problems faster. You think more strategically. You lead with certainty. This is how empires are built. Not in chaos, but in deep concentration. So ask yourself, am I living in consumption or creation? Rewire your brain to default to output, not input. Final thought for part 7. Focus is no longer a nice to have. In today's distracted world, it's your edge. When others are pulled by dopamine, you'll be led by discipline. When others chase everything, you'll move with clarity and intention. When others drown in noise, you'll operate in silence, precision, and purpose. This is how success is created now, not by doing more, but by focusing better. And let the world wonder how you're doing so much with so little noise. Part 8. Breaking through resistance. How to follow through when motivation fades. Resistance will never leave. So stop trying to eliminate it and start training yourself to move through it. Mindset Masters Audiobooks. You've probably had moments where you felt deeply inspired. You set goals. You built new habits. You made plans. But then, you didn't follow through. It wasn't because you were lazy. It wasn't because you didn't care. It was because of resistance, the invisible force that rises the moment you try to change. In this part, we'll break down what resistance really is, why it shows up when it does, and how to consistently take action even when you don't feel like it. This is the key to real change, because success belongs to the person who moves even when it's hard. What resistance looks like. Resistance doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up as procrastination. I'll do it later. Doubt. Who am I to try this? Overwhelm. There's too much to do. Where do I start? Perfectionism. It's not ready yet. Distraction. Let me check my phone first. Fatigue. I'm too tired today. It's not laziness. It's your brain avoiding discomfort. Because any action that threatens your current identity triggers your subconscious to resist. It's trying to protect you, but in doing so, it's limiting you. Step 1. Normalize the presence of resistance. The most important shift you can make is this. Stop expecting resistance to go away. It's never going away. Every time you level up, start something new, aim higher, expand, resistance will return. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign to start anyway. High performers don't wait to feel ready. They build systems to move through the fog. Daily. Repeat this. Feeling resistance means I'm doing something that matters. Step 2. Shrink the starting point. One of the fastest ways to overcome resistance is to make the first step ridiculously small. Not write a chapter. Just open the document. Not go for a 5K run. Just put on your shoes. Not clean the whole kitchen. Just clear one counter. Your brain resists what feels big. So make it tiny. Start momentum. Then write. Here's a trick. The 2-minute rule. If the task takes less than 2 minutes to start, do it now. Step 3. Use the 5-second window. Your brain has a 5-second window before it talks you out of action. You have to move before the voice of hesitation gets loud. Use Mel Robbins' rule. Faceta. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Stand up. Move. Act. Interrupt the loop of delay. This isn't about motivation. It's about mechanics. Breaking the cycle with movement. Step 4. Stop negotiating with yourself. The mind loves to renegotiate goals in the moment. You deserve rest today. You deserve rest today. Just skip it once. You'll do double tomorrow. And the more you entertain these thoughts, the weaker your follow-through becomes. High performers don't debate their standards. They pre-decide and execute regardless of feeling. Want to build unshakable follow-through? Make your decisions in advance, not based on emotion. Step 5. Focus on identity, not outcome. Instead of obsessing over goals, ask yourself, first, who am I becoming by doing this consistently? When your actions align with your identity, you're more likely to follow through. Example. Data. Not I have to work out, but I'm someone who honors their body. Data. Not I have to write. Data. 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 I'm a creator who shows up daily. The shift from pressure, identity makes action natural. Step 6. Reduce friction to action. Look around your environment. Ask, is it helping me move, or making it harder? Make success easier by removing obstacles. Some examples. Data. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Keep a water bottle filled at all times. Put your phone in another room during focus time. Pre-plan meals so you don't decide under hunger. Keep your journal where you see it. Design your life so that action is the default, not the exception. Step 7. Track the action, not the result. One reason people stop showing up is because they don't see immediate results. Solution. Measure consistency, not outcome. Use a calendar or habit tracker. Up ASEAN. Showed up today. ASEAN. Completed the task. ASEAN. Honored my standard. Your brain loves small wins. Stacking them builds momentum, and momentum beats motivation every time. Step 8. Rewire the meaning of discomfort. Most people avoid action because they associate discomfort with danger. But you can rewire that. Every time you feel resistance, say, this means I'm expanding. This is where I grow. This is a rep for my future self. Train your nervous system to associate discomfort with alignment, not avoidance. Step 9. Build a no-matter-what mindset. Want elite-level consistency? Decide what your minimum baseline is, and do it no matter what. Examples. Data. I write 100 words, even on bad days. I stretch for 5 minutes, even if I don't train. I read 1 page, even when I'm tired. You don't break the chain. You honor the commitment, not for the results, but to strengthen your word to yourself. Step 10. Reward progress, not perfection. Lastly, train yourself to feel proud after following through. Most people punish themselves for what they didn't do. Flip it. Celebrate every act of discipline. Acknowledge the fact that you move. Let your brain associate follow-through with internal reward. This strengthens your desire to repeat the behavior and cements it into your identity. Final thought for part 8. You don't need more motivation. You need systems that help you act when motivation is gone. Resistance will always be part of the game, but now you know how to. Part 9. The mind of a decisive leader. How to build clarity and trust your choices. Indecision is the enemy of momentum. Clarity isn't found, it's created. Mindset Masters Audiobooks. Some of the most successful people in the world aren't the smartest. They're not the most educated or even the most experienced. But they all have one thing in common. They make decisions with confidence, and they make them consistently. In this part, we'll unlock how decisive thinkers operate, and how to reprogram your mind to eliminate overthinking, reduce doubt, and move forward with clarity even when outcomes are uncertain. Because indecision will steal more opportunities than failure ever will. Why indecision is a silent killer. You don't need more time, you need more clarity. Every moment you delay a decision, successful people don't always make the right decision, but they make decisions and make them right. Indecision is not wisdom. It's fear wearing the mask of caution. Step 1. Understand why you overthink. Overthinking doesn't mean you're careful. It often means you're afraid of making the wrong choice, being judged, losing something, looking foolish, committing to action. But here's the truth. There are very few irreversible decisions in life. Most choices are reversible, adaptable, correctable. Overthinkers wait for perfect clarity, but clarity comes through movement, not before it. Step 2. Adopt the 90% rule. Ask yourself, am I at least 90% sure this is the right move based on what I currently know? If yes, move. If no, ask, what's the missing 10%, and how can I get it quickly? Don't wait for 100% certainty. That doesn't exist. Waiting for it guarantees stagnation. Step 3. Reduce decisions by raising standards. Indecisiveness often comes from decision fatigue. Too many choices. Too often. Solution. Examples. Same breakfast daily. Fixed workout days. Standard daily schedule. Set times for deep work. Pre-decided evening shutdown. Every decision costs energy. Save it for what matters. High performers don't make 1,000 decisions a day. They make a few great ones. Step 4. Clarify your decision filter. Before making any decision, ask yourself, A. Does this move me closer to my vision? B. Is this aligned with who I want to become? C. Would I be proud to tell someone I made this decision? Having a personal decision filter removes 80% of confusion. When your filter is clear, your choices become automatic. Step 5. Decide fast. Reflect slow. This might sound backward, but it works. Decide quickly. Reflect slowly. Why? Because momentum matters more than mental gymnastics. When you decide fast, A. You build confidence. You trust yourself more. You create motion. You become a leader, not a spectator. And when reflection comes later, it's based on real feedback, not imagined fear. Step 6. Trust internal over external. You've been conditioned to seek permission, but to build real clarity you must shift your default from high performers. A. Ask for feedback, but don't outsource decisions. They take full ownership, and with it full power. You don't need more opinions. You need to hear your own voice louder. Step 7. Take the smallest action possible. Still stuck on a big decision? Break it down. Ask, what's the smallest step I can take right now to move forward? Not the whole launch. Just the outline. Not the new career. Just the email to a mentor. Not the entire book. Just 20 minutes of writing. Clarity follows movement. Confusion multiplies in stillness. Step 8. Use the two future selves trick. When unsure between two options, ask, if I said yes to option A, how would my future self thank me or regret it? Then ask the same of option B. Visualize each outcome. Get quiet. See who you become in each version. That's where true clarity lives. When in doubt, consult the future you. Step 9. Make peace with imperfect decisions. You will not always get it right. But here's what matters more. A. Did you move with integrity? Did you use the best judgment you had at the time? Did you learn, adjust, and grow? Then you didn't fail. You evolved. The only wrong decision is the one you refuse to make. Step 10. Build a decision-making identity. Finally, shift how you see yourself. I am a person who makes bold, aligned decisions. I move even when I don't feel ready. I lead myself with clarity and courage. I don't wait for the perfect moment. I create it. Your actions will always rise or fall to meet your identity. Build the identity of a decisive thinker, and life will meet you with momentum. Final thought for partner. Clarity doesn't come from more thinking. It comes from less noise and more direction. The most powerful people in the world don't have all the answers. They just don't waste energy avoiding the question. You're now one of them. And that power begins the moment you choose to decide. Part 10. Wiring lasting change. Becoming the person you were meant to be. Transformation isn't something that happens in one moment. It's something you become over time through repeated action, alignment, and intentional rewiring. Mindset Masters Audiobooks. You've come a long way. You've explored mindset, focus, clarity, discipline, and internal power. But now comes the most important part. How do you make all of this last? Temporary motivation is everywhere, but lasting transformation, that's rare. That's what we're going to build now. This is where we hardwire everything into your beliefs, habits, identity, and daily living. This is the chapter where you stop learning transformation and start embodying it. Step 1. Shift from performance to identity. You're not trying to act like a disciplined person. You are one. You're not pretending to be focused. You train your focus like an elite athlete. Because here's the truth. Your mind doesn't believe what you say, it believes what you repeat. If you repeat action, the belief follows. If you repeat doubt, the same. So ask yourself every day, who am I becoming by what I'm practicing? When you align your actions with your desired identity, change stops being hard and starts being inevitable. Step 2. Protect the environment that created change. Change doesn't stick if you return to the environment that broke you. If your room is cluttered with distractions, if your time is consumed by draining people, if your phone is programmed to overstimulate, if your days are run by urgency instead of values, then even the strongest mindset will collapse. So ask, what environment helped me grow? What structure, space, or system helped me think clearly? What did I remove that gave me energy? Now protect that environment with everything you've got. Step 3. Use identity anchors daily. An identity anchor is a habit or ritual that keeps you grounded in who you've become. It might be morning journaling, saying your affirmations out loud, touching the gym floor, no matter what, walking in silence after deep work, reviewing your goals each night, repeating a personal mantra, I don't negotiate my greatness. These tiny rituals rewire your identity, not once, but daily. Your power isn't in one big moment. It's in the micro decisions you repeat consistently. Step 4. Redefine what it means to win. Most people only feel like they've won when they reach a huge goal. But if you wait for the result to feel successful, you'll constantly feel behind. Instead, redefine winning as showing up when you didn't feel like it, keeping your word to yourself, thinking clearly under pressure, choosing the hard right over the easy wrong, responding to chaos with composure, progress, not perfection. You win every time you move in alignment with your higher self. Step 5. Build systems, not just motivation. The secret to lasting transformation. System examples. A scheduling 90 minutes of focus work at the same time daily. Weekly reflection journal every Sunday night. Automatic deduction into savings every payday. Meal prep Sundays. No social media during weekdays. Phone out of the bedroom by 9 p.m. If it's not systemized, it's vulnerable to how you feel, and your feelings will not always support your future. Step 6. Embrace a life of mastery, not intensity. The world glorifies intensity. The 30-day challenge, the overnight success, the hustle till you drop. But here's what the top 1% do. They choose mastery over intensity. They show up again and again, even when no one's watching. They aren't chasing spikes of motivation. They're building consistency. So don't ask, how fast can I change? Ask, how long can I sustain this? That's where real transformation lives. That means no more back and forth, no more emotional negotiations, no more waiting for permission, no more choosing what's easy over what's right. This is your new standard now. I don't need motivation. I have a mission. I don't seek approval. I have alignment. I don't play it safe. I play it real. Step 8. Teach what you've learned. Want to make your transformation permanent? Teach it. Share it. Lead it. When you explain what you've learned to a friend, your child, your team, your community, it doesn't just stay information. It becomes internalized truth. Teaching forces clarity. Leading forces integrity. Helping others forces ownership. And leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about living the lessons out loud. You are now someone who leads by example, even if no one says it out loud yet. Step 9. Write your new inner script. Your subconscious still remembers the old version of you, the one that doubted, delayed, distracted, and gave up. So now, you must write a new script, consciously. Examples. I'm the kind of person who does the hard thing without drama. I take full ownership of my energy, focus, and results. Every day, I'm building the mental strength of a high achiever. My future isn't based on my past. It's shaped by my current discipline. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep moving forward. Repeat these often. Say them, write them, live them, because repetition becomes programming, and programming becomes reality. Every morning is a chance to re-choose your standard, realign with your vision, recommit to your future, rewire your patterns, reclaim your personal power. You've been given tools. Now make them part of who you are. Every breath is a choice. Every step is a vote for who you are becoming. So walk in the direction of your greatness. Final words of the audiobook. You don't need to hustle your way into exhaustion. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You don't need to wait until life calms down to take control. Everything you need is already within you. You just needed to learn how to access it. And now you have. You've reprogrammed your mind. You've stepped into inner strength. You've become someone who chooses alignment over excuses, vision over noise, and growth over comfort. The rest of your life begins with the next decision you make. Make it one your future self will thank you for. This is your time. This is your power. This is your legacy. Let's go.